Has God ever given you an instruction that made you wonder if he actually understood the gravity of the situation? In Matthew 14, after the beheading of John the Baptist, in verse 13, it tells us that Jesus got into a boat because he wanted to go to a remote place just to be alone. But Jesus, being who he was, the people heard about this and they came from all over to see him. And when he got off the boat, he saw the crowd, he had compassion on them, and he healed their sick. Now, evening was coming, and the disciples came to him and said, "Hey, it is getting late. Let us send away the people because we don't have food to feed all of them. Let's send them to their villages so that they can get their own food," right? But Jesus said to them, "No, that's not necessary. You feed them." And the disciples said to him, "But we only have 5 loaves and 2 fish. And Jesus said, "Bring it here." And he took what they had and he blessed it. He lifted it up to heaven, and then he broke it and gave it to them and said, "Hey, feed everybody." By the end of the day, the entire multitude was fed. The Bible tells us 5,000 men, and mind you, it did not count women or children. Here's a lesson. Sometimes God will tell you to do things that make absolutely no sense to you. In fact, sometimes it is downright illogical, especially when you consider the gravity of a situation or the context that you are in. Sometimes too, you can probably even find better ways to do the thing, so that even adds to just the downright confusion that you might feel in a given moment. But here's the thing. God isn't always calling us to understand. He is calling us to trust and obey that what he is doing and whatever he's telling us to do is good. And even bigger, he will be glorified. Because no matter the situation, God must be glorified. And sometimes if we are able to do things in our own strength, he will not get the glory for it. But when he will take your 5 loaves and your 2 fish and do the impossible of feeding 5,000, we can only turn around at the end of the day and say, "But God." If it wasn't for God, this would not have happened. It would not have worked out this way. And we glorify God even more by recognizing his wisdom, his character, his power, his strength, and his might. So we learn to trust, we learn to obey, even when we don't understand or even agree. See you next time. Bye-bye.